Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers and Facebookers all across the nation. Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. Today we have some good news in baseball and basketball and football. So all the sports pretty much. We will start off with baseball first. Big news came out. The Detroit Tigers are trading away J.D. Martinez, and he will be going to the Arizona Diamondbacks, which is pretty big news. It's they know that the Diamondbacks they are for real. And they say that they are not going anywhere. And if they do go down, they're going down swinging, because we all know that they've been dominating on offense lately. They still have a great chance. We all know that the Colorado Rockies have been struggling as of lately. They've been losing bad. Let's just say that. At one point, each of those three teams were head and shoulders above the NL. And now Colorado is just going down the drain. But Arizona has kind of stayed put. We know that the Dodgers are hot. I think they won 9 or 10 straight in a row. Something like 26 out of the last 29 games they won. So we all know the Dodgers are the best team in the NL West. But Arizona is saying we still have a chance to at least make a wild card run. So them getting J.D. Martinez, it boosts up their already stout offense. What they're saying is we know we cannot win without pitching. And we might not win in the playoffs because of our pitching. But we can get to the playoffs with our hitting. And that is key for Arizona. They've been doing it all year, hitting the ball very well in tight situations. You know, with people on base, they're hitting the ball very well too. So you add another slugger like J.D. Martinez, and all of a sudden now you got something going on with Arizona. Like I said, they might not win if they do get to the playoffs, and now it's still gonna be tough for them to get into the wild card. But if they somehow manage to do that, their pitching will be their downfall. Outside of you got Zach Greinke, who's having an okay year, and they have another guy, I forgot his name, but he's having a fabulous year as well for them. Outside of those two guys, that they really don't have anybody else who's decent at pitching. So they get Martinez, and he will be a big addition to their bats. They're going all for it. They're basically swinging their way into this. They're saying we're going to hit our way into the playoffs, because we want to get this franchise and this fan base back to playoff baseball. Remember Arizona, man, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were pretty freaking good. I'm like, Luis Gonzalez, all them boys, they were good. And when they won the World Series over the Yankees, that solidified them as being a threat in the game. And ever since that, they've been kind of irrelevant as of the last decade now. So I'm glad that they're trying to make moves to get back, because the way baseball is set up now the last couple of years, everyone has a fighting chance. Like I said, that wild card was a beautiful thing that they added on to MLB, which makes every team now seem like they have a better chance of getting to the playoffs. There's more teams that feel after the All-Star break, there's still a chance. And I like that about that. So J.D. Martinez to the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are trying to, try to get into the playoffs. And we'll talk about basketball now. Basketball news. Not a lot of news today going on. But one thing that I did see, I'm a Spurs fan. I like the Spurs. I root for the Spurs. I like their organization. I like what they're about, as in the team concept of basketball. Over the last 2 decades now, they have been dominant in the NBA, always winning 50-plus games, no matter who's in or out the lineup. But Greg Pop knows what he's doing. Anyways, that being said, Manu Ginobili, a fan favorite of the San Antonio Spurs, is coming back for his 16th season, sources do say. And I hope they are very true to the bone. If he comes back, he'll be about 40 years old, I believe. But playing in his 16th season, he is a cornerstone for them. I think, in my opinion, a first ballot Hall of Famer, because of what he brought to the game as a 6-man role, as a bench role, what he brought to the team as well. So Manu, you sit back and you always wonder, but just like Tim Duncan and just like other elderly guys, they sit back, they take their time before they actually retire. Let's see what's going on. Now, a lot of guys want to do the cool thing and retire. They say, hey, this is my last year, so let's do the whole, praise me as I go kind of thing. And then some guys just sit back and say, I'm going to take it year by year, and if I really feel like I'm done, I'll let you know in the off season. And Manu, he took it off, and he probably felt like he had one more year left in his system, one more training camp, one more 82-game season, one more playoff run in him, and then he could probably call it quit. this will definitely be his last year, in my opinion, if he officially comes back. But I really hope this is true, because Manu is, he's the face of the organization, or one of the many faces, let's say that. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, now you got Kawhi Leonard. So he's a good guy as it is. You already know he's a good guy. So with Manu coming back, it's good to see these guys staying, because it's always hard when someone's leaving. So now we see Paul Pierce leaving. So that would never be the same with Boston. And then you see, we saw Kobe leave. That was kind of the end of the era, but Ginobili might be the last. And him and Vince Carter, you see those two guys coming back, and you realize, these guys both have something left in the tank to give. With Vince going to Sacramento, and now Manu's most likely staying in San Antonio, you feel like they got, it's good to see these guys staying, because they are the last of basically a dying breed. We could say that. They're the last of a dying breed. And when those two guys go, it'll definitely be the new millennium kids running around here now doing their thing. So, Manu, I really hope that this is your last year, and it's a very successful year at that. So, when they say go Spurs, go. And let's talk about NBA news. NFL news now. Very interesting. So a couple days ago, Mike Vick went on one of the shows, and he talked about Colin Kaepernick. And this is something that's very touching to me, something that I deal with on a personal level year by year. So we all know that Colin Kaepernick, who was the one that he was kneeling before during the national anthem. He was always kneeling, and he was saying that his views of politics, he will do that. And a lot of people, and if you have the right, it is a free country. A lot of people did not like it. I'm more of if it brings attention and it's a good attention, and he was willing to do that. He was willing to basically sacrifice his likeness in the NFL to bring a bigger statement out here. But we all learn that sometimes when you make stands like that, things happen. It wasn't long ago when the Cap was leading his team to could have been a potentially Super Bowl winning drive when he played in the Super Bowl against the Ravens. I believe it was 2012. So we're talking, just about 5 years ago that he was in the Super Bowl, and he was rated as one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You had him and you had Russell Wilson going at it, Nell Fennell, as one of the top young up and coming guys. So it's obvious that he's getting blackballed. No one wants to believe that, but it is. All these teams are getting all these, scrub, and they are a lot of scrub backup quarterbacks, guys who aren't deserving to be in that backup role when you got a guy just 5 years ago who's still in his prime, let's just be honest, in Colin Kaepernick, who could fill a role or fill a need for any team. He only had interest from one team publicly, was the Seattle Seahawks, that we know about. Now, I'm pretty sure maybe other teams thought about getting him as well, but publicly, the Seahawks said we're going to go ahead and get him and try him out. But ultimately, they went another route. But there are a lot. He's better than most of these guys getting picked up. So that's how I know for a fact that he's being blackballed, because a talent like that just doesn't sit on the sideline, especially when you need quarterbacks in this league. So Mike Vick goes on the radio, and he's saying, well, how does Colin Kaepernick get his, what's going on? And the one thing, and I'm a big Mike Vick fan, very big, so I have nothing really against my dude, but I thought he was wrong by saying this statement. He basically went out and said, you know what, Colin, if I were you, I would cut my hair. He would cut his hair. He said, I would cut my hair to show them that I mean business. People want to see how you react when you're in when you're in bad situations. So he said, I would cut my hair and show them that I'm politically correct, and I want you to want me, so that when I do get in there, I'll be fine. He was saying that most of it is not that he was blackballed. He was saying that something has to do with his talent as well. The last couple of years in San Francisco were very bad years, but I don't know. One thing I don't like about that comment, and like I said, it has something to do with me personally. Isn't this the United States of America? Isn't this the land of the free, the home of the brave? Especially in his situation, you should not. And this goes for anybody. I don't really get the structure of the United States or the structure of a workplace. They don't want you to be yourself, and I don't get that. It threw me off because now, yes, I am African American, and I do know what it is to be African American. It's not saying that I know how hard it is, how hard it can be. And people outside of our race tend to think that what are they complaining about? Well, when you're born African American, things aren't really. It's a lot tougher to get to where a Caucasian guy can do. It's an easier route for them, and it's really tough to understand because you aren't African American, and there's still a lot of racism or a lot of racist tension in this land. But think about it. I saw something on Facebook. A young lady was working at a theme park, and she was African American, and she had her like two big braids going down left shoulder. And the theme park, she worked there, and the theme park told her to go home because of her hair. And it's a predominantly white theme park. Let's just be honest with you. But they told her to go home because of her hair, and I'm thinking to myself, that's perfectly fine. That's not what is wrong with that. Is it because of she's black and white girls can't have the hair like that? I don't get it. It was almost like when you're at a place and they tell you, hey, we need your hairstyle like this, and the main thing they always say is, hey, no cornrows, no cornrows. Well, I think to myself, who predominantly wears cornrows? African Americans, that kind of stuff. So that in itself, you can get down to the basics and say, like, oh, our hair texture is different. So sometimes guys got to do that. But that right there it breaks down the African American. That being said, with Mike Vick and Colin Kaepernick situation, yes, Mike Vick went through his own issues, but he had the dog issues. He had a second chance. He had a second and in the third chance, to be honest, to go in the league and do damage. So he cut his hair trying to change his image. I understand it, but Colin did nothing wrong legally. Nothing wrong at all. Nothing wrong. So Mike's situation is a whole lot different because he did wrong things in the laws of the Constitution. Kaepernick did not. Kaepernick used his freedom of speech, which got under some people's skins, on their nerves. And you don't go out there and try to appease them by cutting your hair. Hair is hair. It is what it is. Troy Polamalu has that wavy hair going on. Everyone has a hairstyle. And in the NFL or sports, it should not matter what kind of hair you have. So Mike is saying cut your hair to let's appease the quote-unquote white man, or let's appease the higher people above who are predominantly white, let's be honest. No, that's the wrong way of going about it. If he does that he's falling into that trap that us African Americans fall into. And here's why it's personal for me. I was at a job a long time ago, and I had cornrows. This is why it's personal. I had cornrows back in the day. Don't look at this and be like, oh, there's all this smexiness. No. I had cornrows back in the day, and I had cornrows when I was like 17, almost 18. I had them for like almost 8 years. So I get to this job, and I'm well qualified for this certain job, moving on up, trying to do big things for my family. And I'm not getting this job, and I'm wondering what's going on. And everyone, all my peers and everyone around me is saying, hey, why aren't you getting this specific job? What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm qualified for this job, and the people that keep bringing in for this certain job, they are not qualified, but they are, let's be honest, they are white people. And I'm like, what's going on? So I told myself, well, maybe it's my hair. And I succumbed to that pressure. And a lot more things had to do with me cutting my hair off. I was having my first boys, my twin boys were being born, that kind of stuff. But I succumbed to the pressure of trying to appease the higher above, the people above me, which are, let's be honest, predominantly white, trying to please them. And even when I cut my hair, And I try to let them know, hey, all right, I mean business. I'm very serious about getting this job, this certain job, this position. I'm serious. I cut my hair. I'm trying to fit in now. Long story short, I still did not get the job. I didn't get it. After being the most qualified person over there, after having the most knowledge, the most training over 3-year experience over there, I wound up being there 5 years, but for 3-4 years, I was really trying to get this particular job, and it did not happen. And I went the whole route of cutting my hair off to prove to them that I was serious about getting this job, and it still did not happen. So my thing is, Mike Vick, you cannot tell this man to cut his hair, because he's been growing his hair for a reason. Growing up for a reason is his thing, but people are afraid of change or someone who takes action in what they believe in. Think about all the greats, all the leaders we had: Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy. All of them had to sacrifice. Now, we're not saying that Colin Kaepernick's on that level, and he's not. But at the same time, it's a small stage. You cannot make this man change. You have to look at the greater good. If Colin Kaepernick, and I don't think Colin is that worried about not being in the NFL. That could be another reason why he's not in it, because he's probably not that worried, because now he has a different mission in life. But let's be honest, Kaepernick is a whole lot better than these other second-string fools playing quarterback. I'm gonna be honest, he is being blackballed, and I can care less what no one says, but that's just the honest truth. But as Mike Vick, you would think that he would know of Colin Kaepernick's situation, or deal with it in some kind of form. You don't tell the man to cut his hair, because now he's falling into that same trap. If he does cut his hair to try and please, and Colin Kaepernick would not do that, I know that. But for Mike Vick to say that, I was kind of, I'm not gonna say disappointed, but I was like, dude, come on now. You of all people know the struggle it is, to be of African American descent. So I thought that was pretty vindictive. Not as vindictive is a tough word, but I just thought it wasn't the right thing to say if I was Mike Vick. Mike Vick just told the man, he should have said, hey, maybe he just isn't that good enough to be in the league. And I've been fine with that, because let's be honest, his last 2-3 years, he's been struggling with the 49ers, but the 49ers are a bad team, period. Any quarterback would have struggled with them. I mean, Blaine Gabbert got a job, and he was poo cheese with the 49ers. So I don't believe that he's out because of his lack of talent. No, he's out because he's being blackballed. But to go as far as Michael Vick say to cut your hair, no. This is the United States of America. We are a free country. We are free to do what we want, when we want, and how we want, as long as it's abiding within the law, the eyes of the Constitution. Outside of that, we can do whatever we want to. And Colin Kaepernick is doing that by using it. Whether you like it or not, he's not breaking any laws. Mike Vick broke laws. That's the difference. That's why Mike Vick went to the extreme to change his image, because you broke a law and you got caught. Kaepernick hasn't broken a single law. He hasn't said a single disrespectful thing, even though people bring out negativity and all that bad stuff towards him, but he hasn't done that to them. So that's why he's being blackballed, and it's just a shame. But it's just a personal thing with me, because I've been there, done that, and it's still going on in life. And racism will still be here, and let's be honest, it will always be here. And it's all about just making a change day by day. And, but there's for African Americans, never throw yourself a pity party, ever. Be proud of who you are. And like I said, there's a lot of racist Caucasian people, there's a lot of great Caucasian people as well. So we don't want it to be the few bad apples spoil it for everybody. It's not going to happen, because I love all people. And I just think Mike Vick went a little too far by saying that. And I found that, not disrespectful, but I found it very hard to actually hear. But that being said, I know it was kind of a somber one, like a sad story going on, but like, comment, subscribe. Do you think Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed by the NFL? Let me know. I really think he is, but let me know your opinions on that, and just let me know your opinions on his situation overall, because I would love to hear how you feel about Colin Kaepernick, and should he still be in the NFL right now, because I think he's a lot better than a lot of these second-string quarterbacks, to be honest, man. So like, subscribe, check me out on Facebook. My name is Carlos Clayton. I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. If that helps, check me out on Twitter, at Carlos Clayton _. I repeat, at Carlos Clayton _. Uneducated Network presents Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. As always, sports fans, stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace. And subscribe.